I'm at the page.
Okay, we're live. There it is.
What's up?
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Sorry for the late start. Rolled out of bed a little bit late.
Good morning. Good afternoon to some of you. Good evening to others.
Yeah, we got different time
Good
zones.
night to others.
Yeah. Okay. So let us know if I've missed something. I'm responsible for all technical failures.
Right away, Joe, what I can see is that I've got this lovely little mouse right on my eyeball.
Oh, I'm glad you caught that. Yeah. That's because I was
Right
going to
there.
talk about Ben's eyes. I was going to talk about if you want to paint eyes.
This is how they are.
Let's get that out of there.
It's good to see you guys this morning. Round Brush, America Marcy,
Good to see you.
Tom, Jonathan.
Welcome. Thanks for being here. Usual familiar names we got there, along with others.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just closing the door. Just closing the door real quick. I'll be back. Give me a moment.
Just closing the door. Hey guys, check out my new coffee cup. Look at this coffee cup. This is the most awesome coffee cup ever.
What do you got? Oh yeah. Oh, that makes me want to eat breakfast. Yeah.
Got eggs over easy.
Yeah. I was trying to decide if I was looking at flowers or food.
Yes, it is excellent. Round Brush, indeed, excellent.
So quick, always quick. Man.
I know this guy. Man. Round Brush, I hope you're writing stuff. You should be a writer.
Round Brush, I bet Round Brush, that's, yeah, right. It reminds me of dad jokes, like this. I wonder if Round Brush maybe is a dad.
Off the hip. That's it. He always got one for you.
Always, man. Like they're right out of the pocket. What are we painting?
Let's paint stuff.
What are we painting?
All right.
Paint something.
Amanda from Alaska, thank you for showing up. I think in honor of Amanda from Alaska, we should paint some Alaska stuff.
Okay.
What do you think about Alaska stuff?
Yeah, that's cool with me. Dramatic mountains, deep snow, pine trees.
Yeah.
I've been to Alaska.
Yeah. What kind of stuff happens? Moose. She says.
Let's show off. Okay. Let's start out showing off some stuff. I could paint a moose. I'd need to look at the.
Salmon jumping from some water. Jonathan says.
Okay, here. All right, look, we got some paintings to share. Before we get going, I just want to share some paintings. Some people sent some stuff in. This one's from this has been here during the week. So if anyone wants to send something to share@muraljoe.com, share@muraljoe.com. That's an email, and it'll come right to this inbox, and I can open it up. And if you want me to mess with it on the computer, I can even add colors to it. We can talk about the picture. Yeah, this one is from Paul. Paul did this one, and Paul left a very nice message. I like reading nice messages, so we're gonna do that. So love your.
A lot better than the mean messages.
Yeah. Love your videos. Been watching them for about 10 years now. Very informative. Gives me a thumbs up. Thank you, Paul. That's very kind and encouraging. I appreciate it. Here's some of Paul's work. Let's admire this. Beautiful. I like this magical looking glow here on that.
Yeah.
No green.
The human for scale is a nice touch. You get a sense of the vastness.
Totally, yeah. It's like kind of a zoomed out look at a big landscape.
Yeah, soft lighting, Round Brush says.
Yeah, soft lighting. That's right. I know. Yeah, you're right about that. Now that you mentioned it, I can see there's just no hard shadows, no sharp lines. People mean different things. People sometimes they're just talking about the way something feels, and they say soft lighting, hard lighting. But to put it in terms
of just saying stuff to say stuff,
Yeah.
Just like to say stuff about art. It's really provocative.
Stuff, Well, I find it frustrating when I don't have like a specifics that I can put on a canvas. If someone criticized my work and said, well, the lighting just looks too hard, I'd be like, what does that mean? So I always want like the mechanics, that specific things we're talking about. So, you know, you get soft when you get soft lighting when you don't have the real defined edges on the shadows, when they're all soft gradients like that. So this has that real nice look. It definitely sets a magical kind of mystical mood. Beautiful work. I like this, Paul. Thanks for sharing it. And then we're going to go back and look at something that, who else has got some work in the inbox here? We got Tyler working on one. We got, oh yeah, Tyler left a caption with this one too. Let's get some context. We got painted after a psalm, Psalm 119. He says, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. All right. We got a Jesus lover out there. Cool.
Okay, let's see this. Okay. Let's see this lamp.
Nice. Okay. Look at the light. I love the light on this. Very nice. Light, you know, I've seen you do a lot of these recently, Tyler. You've really been doing some cool warm light on cool background, orange light on blue background. Really, really looks nice. It's fun seeing you do this kind of stuff. Yeah, that's neat. And I like how you got the little flecks of white glowies going down into the light too. I don't know if it was snow or cottonwood trees. So I just call them glowies.
Flecks of white glowies. Yeah. That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Great glow effect. We talk about this a lot, you know, that the struggle, and that was on Paul's painting that we just looked at too, to get the glow effect. You really have to pay careful attention to the mid-tone that gets mixed between the light and the dark. So I'm commending you on doing that well without getting the green. Yellow hits blue, it'll turn real green. That does not tend to look like a natural glow when you get a green halo. And that's a real frustrating thing with paint. Nice.
Yeah, Jonathan notes that you can perceive the blowing of the snow, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's kind of a sense of uniform motion about it. Now that you say that, yeah, it does have that vibe.
It's definitely blowing away and to the right, you know.
Yeah,
you feel it.
And I like this, how the tree shadows are cool. It seems like if we walk up this trail, we're going to drop down into, I like how my imagination feels like it can drop into this valley and imagine what's on the other side. That's always the funnest element in a painting for me, is the parts where my imagination's filling in the blanks. That's what I like the most.
Well, you've said before, Joe, you know, like that a painting should be about something, or it's good when a painting is about something, and this one definitely leads one to imagine, well, where is this person walking to? Where does this dark road go? You know, you kind of look off to the horizon. It's nice. Story. Yeah. It's a good story.
It is indeed. Let's enjoy this animation here. We got an animation. Boy, we've got some audio on this one too. I don't know if the audio is going to translate through my computer.
Oh boy, has this been filtered through our producers?
I was watching. Oh yeah, we got audio. Let me turn down. We got a Lifehouse song on this. This one was inspired by our animation, Ben. The animation we did.
Hey, he painted, or she, or whomever painted an animation.
Yeah.
Look at that. How cool is that? Watch out for that lightning. Oh, yeah, the animated lightning.
This took a lot of work. This is a lot of frames to paint.
A lot of work.
If I see you, this darkness will turn to light.
Yeah, it's almost over. It's not a long video. Cool. Oh man, that was neat. I like that. All right, let's close that up and head back over to the. Your meet call is in another window. Oh, it's right here. Yeah. Imagination fills in blanks. That was another example. I like how.
Yeah, good work, guys.
Yeah, that was really fun. Thanks for sharing it. That was from Jules. Jules.
Was
Okay.
that Jules?
Let me see. Let's see if that's just, yeah. I didn't even look at.
Yeah, that was Jules.
Okay, yeah. Excellent. Yeah. So I really like how when you don't fill in every frame, so imagination filling in blanks even works with motion. It's like it's fun to see the still frames. There's something about old media that doesn't have the super detailed graphics that we have today, because you're like imagining all the motion, all the color, all the things in between. So that was fun. I could
fun little story time. I just this week I had a job where a client had footage of all these different things. They were selling outfits, little kid outfits, and we filmed all these kids running around in all these cute outfits. Well, it was gorgeous, high technology, slow motion footage, right? But then we didn't film all the outfits. So the client was like, we got to squeeze in these other outfits that we didn't film. So it takes still pictures of everything though. So to your point, I just crafted like a presentation of stills, just like a scrapbook kind of a feel. It had this low
I got
textury thing to it, just like that animation. And they ate it up. They loved it. Now they want that thing to happen everywhere, and they want less resolution footage.
Right.
So there really is value in the craft and the texture of things that are not so polished, not so not so moose-like. Hello.
Yeah, we're looking at meese.
Look at these
guys. We're looking at a bunch of meese right here. Is that how you say
Look
that?
At these meese. Yeah, that's how you say it. That's how you say it.
That's it. Just keep on saying it.
That's how you say it.
I'm just getting my paintbrush.
Like the more you say it, the more it becomes a thing.
Natural, yeah. If it's not meese, it must. How do you say the plural of?
It must be use.
Moosin. I saw a stand-up comic talk about the plural of moose. It was a pretty funny one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what we need here is a little consulting. Okay, we got a true Alaskan in the room here.
Yeah. All right.
Out of the 3,000 people that are in this chat right now, one of them is definitely an Alaskan.
I think when you see the fuzzy antlers, okay, here's my professional opinion. If you see fuzzy antlers, that moose is extra dangerous because he's protecting brand new antlers. That's my,
like they're attached to their antlers, like they love their antlers so much.
They just got them. It's like the new car parked in the back of the parking lot on the white line, taking up 2 spaces. They're gonna protect it. It's don't
it's
get
not
me
a bad theory.
Yeah,
not a bad theory.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, by the look on that moose's face, I would have to agree with that statement. He definitely does not want you to mess with his antlers.
Yeah. Let's look at some. I don't think I have ever painted a moose. I don't think I've ever done it.
Ooh.
So
they're so strange. Right?
Yeah, it's a weird animal. Yeah.
Imagine if you had stuff growing out of your skull.
Giant
just
stuff.
Fuzzy, giant appendages just rising. Like, think for a second, like
very hand-like.
We normalize being here on Earth and seeing the things we see and thinking that it's absolutely normal. But
just because it's familiar.
For a second.
Yeah. Just because it's familiar, it's
like
normal.
Your fingernails. Yeah, it's like fingernails growing out of your skull in the shape of just a plant rising to the sky. Imagine if that was coming out of your head. How wild is that?
It's very hand-like. That one especially looks like hands going like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun to paint a moose, but put hands coming out instead of.
Jonathan supposes it's kind of just like painting a cow horse with antlers.
Yeah, let's make it something normal. It's just a cow horse. That's all it is. Yeah, just except the sag of the nose is a very unique look.
That's definitely a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got this
kind of
upper.
Yeah. Squidward vibe.
I like this inspiration photo. It's not a bad one. It's got big mountains behind it. We could
Side eye too. That moose is also giving side eye.
Yeah, let me see if I can
You know what I mean?
rearrange the. I'm trying to rearrange my
I don't know if
computer.
Meese like their pictures being taken.
Yeah. Okay, let's get a little
Wide
bit
angles.
better look at this. There we go. Oh, whoops. We need inspiration photos. I guess we're just gonna look at the little ones. Here.
They look big. Hey Joe, they look big on the stream. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Don't kill time doing that. All right. You know, I'll go crazy if I can't really. I've never painted a moose, and I'll be upset if I can't do a good moose face. So I need to understand what I'm looking at here. So here's what I do.
This is valuable for people to see, right? So we really caught Joe off guard. He's starting from zero here. Right?
Yeah, starting from zero.
He doesn't know exactly what to do here. You know,
I'm like, what in the world am I?
This is the process. He's got to analyze the shapes. He's got to sort it in his brain conceptually. He's like a CAD machine, you know, like he's just got to create a 3D rendering of this thing so that it can manifest however he wants.
Let's learn together. I feel like I'm hosting a TV show now. Let's learn together the shape of a moose. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Okay. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing, like, if we look at my computer screen, I'm looking at that moose, and I see a saggy nose. You know, I see shapes I've seen before. It's like the shape of a nostril, the round bottom, the overhang on the top. That's all ordinary nostril stuff, so I don't have to remember all that right this moment. But the flare of the snout, it basically looks like an exaggerated cold. It's got the flu, it's sick, it's got a swollen nose. This is what people look like when it kind of swells in the nose area, and then the width of that nose is really incredible. I mean, that's very impressive. So,
well, because it's cold in Alaska, and I understand noses are good for warming air before you get it into your lungs, right? That's why you breathe through your nose. So
is that really a thing?
Noses.
Yeah. Is that really the deal? Like, it's basically a second mouth.
If you ever tried to breathe in really cold air, through your mouth, you'll just start coughing, But if you breathe through your nose, it kind of warms it a little bit, and then it's easier to handle.
We got it.
I don't know, man. I read it in the book.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay. All right. That's fine. Okay. Mouth. Okay. This is the nose coming down like this. And then, we got a nostril like this. And then the lip is like really close. If we made it really close to it, but I still don't have a side view of it, but I'm just going to guess it's something like this. And real arched top to the nose. I'm doing a side view so I can look at it and say, does that really look like a moose? That's my take on the moose face at a glance. And see, this is not a mouth. This is a nose. Right.
Yeah, it's a big honker. Amanda in Alaska says there was one year it was -30 Fahrenheit for like 2 weeks.
Whoa, 2 weeks. That's a long duration. That's
serious. -10 Celsius for you internationals outside of the center of the universe.
Outside of the center. Yeah. Hey, here's a good side view. There we go. Look at that. Dude. Which one was it, Rocky or Bullwinkle? Which one was the moose in Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Bullwinkle.
Use the moose. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's my moose study.
Jonathan says you nailed it in 4 pen strokes, Joe. Why does it seem like this has been nailed in 4 pen strokes?
Thanks, man.
Look, he doesn't like it. Joe disagrees. He says those 4 pen strokes.
We're gonna do a little different angle on. I want that wide nose, like this. Big wide nose comes down, and I thought it'd be good. I feel like it's a good exercise to draw a different angle than the one I'm looking at, because I'm trying to build the 3D image in my mind. So I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to use the picture, not duplicate the picture. Does that make sense? That makes sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, we got a little bit of a got a little bit of a chin there. That comes up here, and you know, they got like a barely, they don't have this big forehead. You know, the Moosin don't have big foreheads. Okay, we got that kind of a shadow there.
Warm, cold air so much, you know.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Huh, I honestly never thought of that, the whole warming cold air thing. Okay, big nose coming down. Then we got, all right, antlers are up here. Okay, all right. So basically, it's just a big drooping nose. That seems like the main feature is the big drooping nose.
It's like a horse if the horse was wearing a tube sock on its face, and the tube sock was kind of hanging off the end of its face a little bit.
Totally, totally.
Like just,
I want to capture that. You know,
yeah,
very
like the.
Yeah, yeah. Because if I paint this and the angle starts going different than my reference, I don't want to be like, oh, everything. I hate the pressure. Yeah, you good. Yeah, it's not that far from a horse. Actually, that's kind of a fun experiment. Is comparing this to because this is how you get real fluent in drawing animals is finding all the common parts and just what's unique about the one you're drawing. Like this is very much like a deer or a horse, but it's just finding that part that's unique.
Pretty eyes too. I like those eyes. Round Brush says it looks like it's got its lashes done.
Totally. Oh yeah, that's a good call. If we go to mine, oh yeah, I got to get those lashes.
He purdy.
Yeah,
I got long eyelashes. You know, Joe and I, we have very long eyelashes.
We do indeed.
Fun fact.
Mine, as I've aged.
This is why Joe brings his brother on the show, is because I can say things others don't. Like, Joe has long, beautiful eyelashes.
Yeah, I used to. When I was younger, I really had you know, the natural brows and lashes were pretty good looking when I was young. That's something that's gone in my 40s. You know, I've got thinned out brows and eyelashes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I feel like we're on the right track here. Okay, nose shape.
That's moosey.
I want to get this shape of the nostril. It swoops in like this, swoops in like that, and then there's a little nubby one right there. It makes a noise. It's so much like a mouth. I mean, it's like a double. This is the confusing thing about the nose hole, is like a double mouth. It's like a second. It's the way it comes, because a mouth looks like this too. Like if I drew a horse, right? This is why drawing a moose is a fast thing for me, because I happen to know that a horse is something like this. Nose comes down, chin here, cheek here. Okay, so I have this basic shape of a horse pretty memorized, you know. It's like barely a slope, and then, you know, we have ears right here, nose right here. You know, so I'm just modifying these shapes that are already familiar in order to get from like horse to moose. And if I wanted it to be a deer, then I would take the snap.
You just nudge it.
Yeah, watch. We're gonna take this and we're gonna bring this down, make a much smaller snout, and then we're gonna give it a bigger forehead and larger eyes in order to hopefully have more of a deer face like this.
Yeah,
bigger ears.
If you saw like a horse,
like that,
you know, and then you looked at its face and its mouth was just like sagging. Like it would look so bizarre. You know?
Yeah. Okay, now moose.
That is definitely the qualifying shape, is that mouth.
Okay, this is the exaggerated. To really feel like I've got it, we're gonna exaggerate the moose characteristics. It's got the same eyes, same lower lid, same upper lid. Like this little line here, this line. That's not unlike every animal with this kind of posture has those. So I don't have to remember that.
Yeah. Okay. So to break it down for you guys real quick, Joe's got a 3/4 front view sorted out. Now he's working on a profile. He's not telling you this is what he's doing, but I can see the math happening. He's rotating this thing 90 degrees, and now he's examining the profile. You know, after that, there's going to be the rear 3/4. And then if we nail that, he's ready to go.
There.
Also, the squeak of that marker on that. I love the squeak of that.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Yeah, so we got all the same muscles. You got the same jaw muscle, same thing as the horse, but it just has the big saggy nose. That's what you got to do.
Round Brush says it's like he's doing a drawing to help cops find the guilty moose.
Yeah. Oh man, that's what I did with that Sasquatch, right, friend? I did like a police.
They found it too. They found it after they saw your talent.
Yeah, we're gonna find that guy.
They were like, Steve, that was you. Come on, man.
Yeah. Okay, antlers. Let's study antlers. Let's learn those. Antlers. There's always a pattern, you know. I never like to look at something and assume that it's random. Very few things are actually random. So if you look at spiky moose antlers and you think, oh, they just got random spikes, which I'm not saying you do that, but it would be a common perception, you know, to feel like they're random. So I'm seeing front section, rear section. I want to get this worked out. I see a rear, I see a front. I'm going to try to get some good antlers so that when I'm painting my moose, I can really dial it in. See, I don't want to be thinking about this stuff when I'm being creative. I don't want to be sorting out what the shapes. I want to know it so that when something's a little off, I can just go with it and not freak out like, oh, my picture's off. Now I got to change everything. Okay. Front section. This is the underside of the front. This goes back to the rear. I see a few spikes. Probably the number of spikes can vary. And, you know, it's not like it's super new information because antlers have a similar pattern to this as well. Sounds like maybe I lost Ben for a moment.
No,
okay.
I'm looking into the moose's eye and considering what Round Brush suggested, that the moose is thinking like dolphins do. And then I started thinking like, you know, it is presumptuous of us as humans to assume that the communication and lives of beings that don't speak our language is less involved than ours, but
yeah,
there's a lot an assumption going on, you know?
Maybe there is. Yeah, I think that's definitely an assumption. We don't have a way to know.
Cares, values, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think I think that's a good train of thought is like checking the assumptions that are being made.
Yeah, like do dogs think about what they're going to have for dinner? Round Brush suggests. Also, Hamin's World. What up? Welcome.
All right, good to have you. Good to have you. Welcome. We're learning how to do a moose. We're learning how. Okay. This is the antler. This is just my quick antler study here. Let's put a face on here. Let's put the snout. We're just picturing the head going down. Okay. Like that. Front section, back section. And you know, deer antlers are like this. So again, easier on my memory to really think of a moose antler as a webbed deer antler. So from the side view, there's a section that goes, okay, a deer antler would go like this. It would have like, it would go up like this. There'd be a section that came up in the front, a spike, another spike. Then it would come out like this, and it would come out and swoop back in. And then you'd have the big spikes, and then you'd have a few trailing off the small spikes. That'd be a deer right there, a big old buck. You know, this is a pattern that I've had to paint several times. It's on an elk, it's on a deer. You have the little ones coming off the front. And, you know, I feel like I could have done a better job with these front ones. Like maybe you do a couple coming off the same arm right there. So it has this shape to it. Like here's the branch, here's the little ones coming off of it. So the moose, it's just webbed. That's what I'm seeing is it's just webbed. Like this.
You know,
and then we
like, you know, it looks like a little squirrel could hang out, chill on one of those antlers too, you know? Like, if there's a little squirrel pop. Oh, wait, that's already a thing. That's why they thought of that. Oh my gosh, I'm such a nerd. That is Rocky and Bullwinkle, a squirrel and a moose, right?
Yeah, that I didn't know the wait, which one was it, Rocky or Bullwinkle? Bullwinkle sounds very moosey.
Rocky's the squirrel, Bullwinkle, I would say,
Yeah,
bull being
a second time I've asked that. Okay, are we ready to paint this moose yet?
Yeah, Ha Minh in here from Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam. Yeah.
There we go. How's that look for antler? It's okay. The drop down, I think I exaggerated this drop, that's associated with deer. I'm going to take that out because I don't see that on my example here. It's more like just kind of comes up like that. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks moosey. Believability is the most important thing. So we're going to get that. We're going to get the believability.
Nice.
Okay. They have two sections.
For sure.
Front section, rear section.
Joe says you rock. What a
hey,
Trolleosis.
Thank you for that compliment. It's nice. Good for my ego. Really appreciate it.
Not trolling you right now, Mr. Trolleosis.
Not Trolleosis. Yeah, well, that username might get you kicked off some chat threads.
That's true.
Like, what are you trying to do here? Okay, we're gonna paint. It's time to paint. I think my study is sufficient. We're gonna do it.
The study has been performed. You guys, research phase. Okay.
Yeah, research phase. Like, I think it pays off. That little bit of research.
We're smashing the like button. We're ready to see a moose.
Okay, I'm gonna get this.
Trolleosis is buckled up and ready for an Alaskan adventure.
Let's do it. Okay, let's get the colors ready. We're gonna need a fur color. So to get that, we'll want a color that is on the orange. Oh, I didn't turn my material camera on. Give it a moment to fire up there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need a color.
Leanne Triple notes that moose antlers are cup-like or bowl-like.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That's maybe why I was like, man, maybe a little squirrel will just sit right in that dude,
Yeah.
Just looked inviting.
Yeah, it is cup-like, and that what would you call it? Like that association with a thing is a powerful tool in painting, because sometimes all of the technical things that I like to talk about don't accomplish the same thing for your creative mind as identifying the feel. Like, I don't know when you are able to say, I want it to feel cupped. Sometimes that's a more powerful criteria than the chart. Just remembering it needs that association.
Tom Heaney expresses his condolences to you and I, Joe, that we don't have intimate knowledge of Rocky and Bullwinkle. We must have led deprived childhoods.
Yeah. I remember they did a good job of Bullwinkle sounding like his nose was stuffed up.
Yeah.
I think they were on to the same thing.
I think I saw a couple episodes. We played in the dirt a lot, Tom.
Yeah.
We played in the dirt a lot.
Right. We had a great childhood. It really was very good. Okay, now it doesn't matter what colors I use to get here, but I mean, maybe it matters a little bit. But I'm going to get a brown. And my shadow color, I'm going to be sure, is a bit more red than my mid-tone color. So that'll be my dark brown. I just added black to orange. It gave me kind of a brown that's, to me, looks a little bit more on the red side. And then I'm going to do another brown that is a bit more
orange. Let's call that orange.
Nice name. Dude, I don't know if you're up there with round brush yet, but that was pretty quick.
No, I mean, round brush is a professional. I mean, come on. I mean, he's English, They have wit.
They do. Why is that? Why do we and that is a powerful association. Like, if you want a lie to sound like a truth, just get someone from England to narrate it, and it becomes absolutely true. Yeah, it's an amazing it's an amazing paradigm that we have here in the States, that if it's spoken with that dialect, that accent, that kind of language, that it just has so much more authority.
I dig it, man. I think the Londoner kind of accent is fun. I like Guy Ritchie movies because he does a lot of, Londoner stuff. There's all these guys.
Okay. Even Monty Python, Monty Python wouldn't.
Monty Python.
Like that wouldn't even be a thing without the English feel to the British accent, the humor. It's like it totally. They're synonymous. You know what I mean? Like I can't separate them.
Yeah, like Batman's butler, English accent.
Yeah, like imagine that, right? Just being like your average.
What if you had a southern accent? Southern, what if it sounded like he was from Georgia?
Yeah. Doesn't work.
Batman is instantly half the cool.
Yeah.
Just by association,
Yeah. Like he's like, would you like me to open the bat cave? You're gonna, you don't want to hear normal guys say that. Yeah. Hey, so you want me to open the cave?
Welcome home, Bruce.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
You want me to get the door for you?
Yeah. Yeah, there's association with everything.
All right, Joe. So, from Vietnam says, I'm new here. What sort of paints are you using?
These are wall paints. It really is just the same thing I paint a wall with. Over the years, I've developed my favorites. But in the end, if you went to a paint store, got a bright orange wall paint and black wall paint, they're all just from the same shelf. Acrylic, latex paint. And I like to go with the satin sheen. Okay, this is my lighter mid-tone. I'm going to make it a bit more yellow. I'm going to add some black to it. Here's maybe just a drop. We'll just put a drop of black because we want to kill the color, but not a lot. We want brightness. This is what's going to make fur look like it's illuminated by sunlight. You might make the mistake of thinking that real beautiful natural illuminated fur look is from the details of the fur, but it's not. It really is the color pattern. So I'm going to make sure that it gets yellower as it gets brighter. So I got brighter, I get yellower, and then my brightest color we'll make a third brightest color.
Yeah, to your point, when you were looking at pictures of meese.
Let's look at that one right there.
You were drawn to the furry antlered one.
Yeah, I was.
You would know that it was a furry antlered moose. You knew even through the low resolution of this image.
Yeah, it's just association of color pattern.
You didn't need to see the grained hair to
That's
know
right.
It was fur. The colors told you.
Yeah, exactly.
Your painting can be the same, right?
Yep. That's exactly right. Yeah. And then the details, just count so much more when you can get it to have that association that the color brings, and then use details to tell the same story. And then I say it too often, but I say it because it's true. Two things telling the same story, multiple things telling the same story makes it so much more convincing. Okay, we lightened it up.
Tyler says, good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you guys here. So this is a real bright orange. Now, none of these colors by themselves are going to look very furry. They're all just going to be a bad color to paint your wall. They're all going to have like the same effect. But when I combine them, I thought I had too much yellow, but I actually think the opposite is true. I'm going to go even more yellow. Well, and I've got primaries still too. I can just go straight to those. Okay, let's throw together a moose body real quick using these colors and see if we can make it look like it actually has fur. Let's go over here.
And let me give you a nugget to chew on, Joe, while you do this. Here's a little background process.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
The longevity of these paints, wall paint, house paint, right? So
Yeah.
Tom mentions this painting you've done in the past. You were at a church, right? There was this church. You did these glorious clouds all over the ceiling.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Recently, my
you want
buddy
that to
reposted
last,
that.
right? So like, how
Yeah.
long do you suppose that paint would last on the ceiling, or what kind of paints did they put on these ceilings historically that they lasted so long? You know anything about any of that?
Well, when you're talking about old projects, I'm gonna go a little higher on this moose. When you're talking about old projects, it's probably an oil base because that was the standard years ago, but that standard has changed to water-based paints, and they have a lot of longevity. You know, they water-based paints today, if you pay for the higher quality, and higher quality means more of the acrylic solids mixed into the paint, because a paint is this recipe of liquid with suspended solids that chemically harden as the water evaporates, you know, and kind of like a concrete. Well, so there's definitely paint that'll flake apart and is bad quality, but you know right at the start because it's super cheap. You know, paint is something where the price really does help you determine. Not many things in life are like this, you know. The saying, or maybe a lot. What do you think, Ben? Do you get what you pay for? Is that a good general rule?
I mean, you know, it applies in household items, automobiles.
Yeah. You know, a lot of paying, I feel, okay, in software, I think it's it's gimmick, you know, the whole get what you pay for thing. So to me, in software, it's just kind of a stunt. However, I think in a lot of things, you really do get a better performing product when you pay for more. And paint is like that because it costs more to engineer those chemicals. So acrylic paint is very reliable, has a lot of longevity. And if you put it on a canvas, that canvas will last a very long time and will be less likely to fade in sunlight than tubes of artist paint. This has better endurance for UV light or light exposure.
There's
because, you know,
I'm already seeing it.
Yeah, that's it. I might have went a little bit too far.
I know. Well, it's funny because it is kind of the defining factor as you set up, right? You know, like otherwise you got a horse or a bull or whatever. So it's maybe hard to do it too much because the more you do it, the more moosey.
You're like, yeah, that's a moose. I got a moose going. Yeah, buddy.
Sad that nose, man.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, we're gonna fine tune it.
Their mouths just drag on the ground in front of them as they walk.
Yeah, yeah.
Tails.
Yeah, we'll dial it back
on their nostrils and ride their nose tails.
Totally. We're gonna dial it back a little bit. You know, we won't. I want to see.
Dial it up. Dial it up.
This, I want to really capture this nose
a little bit. Round brush has kind of maybe dinosaur shape.
That's
true. Big old thing.
Let's look at a couple more. Let's get a good side view. Let's see what this one gives us. Oh yeah, that gives us a good look at the comparison. The mouth. Boy, look at that underbite. That's good to know. Severe underbite right there. It's not an underbite. It's just a big old.
Dude, he's stressing. That moose is stressing.
Because you see the whites of the eyes.
He's like, I gotta get to work. We got traffic. We got humans.
People taking my picture. The paparazzi's here. Come on,
I got the shave. I'm gonna lose my job.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the face. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun saying what these guys are saying.
They're so expressive. So
yeah. This one seems like, well, hang on. Hang on. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We accidentally clicked on a link there. We're going to go back. This one I feel is walking away from an argument. You know, like it didn't go my way. That's the vibe I get from this one. Like every time I come home, I'm covered in soot. She gets mad. I'm just going to go out to the lake right now. I'm going to go fishing. Okay. I wanted to see the nose. Right here, I wanted to see that. Sorry, I hope I didn't disconnect you there, Ben. Okay. All right, back to our moose. I wanted to see the anatomy of the nose. You got to capture. I've got good shadow colors here that I can use. We're going to go. We've got a little shape here. I'm going to put a little bit of white right here. I think I did lose Ben's connection there. We'll check it, see if it comes back, and then we'll check it again in a moment. Yeah.
No, man, we good. We good.
Okay. Just making sure.
I'm back. Hey,
Okay.
I apologize for the delay here.
No problem.
Had to see a man about a moose, Joe.
Yeah, I got it. Understood. Enough said. Okay, here we go. Here's our schnoz coming down.
I don't need this crap, says the moose. He's vibing with it.
Totally. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking on that moose. That moose is like,
you're making America Marcy's ribs hurt.
Animals have a lot of emotion. We associate our feelings, and for all we know, they really are feeling that stuff.
Well, Amanda, the Alaskan, the representative of the state of Alaska today in our chat says that moose are really grumpy in the winter time.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, blood sugar gets low. I've been there.
Yeah, it's cold. It's crazy cold.
Yeah. You're just trying to live,
Yeah, kind of looks like a camel. Easy. Tyler says,
it
like
does.
The shape.
You're right. You're right. And I'm gonna say the difference is like if you miniaturized this, you'd probably have a camel. The ratio of nose to skull it's much larger on the moose. But I think you would have a great looking camel, side study. We got a side study here. Okay, if I wanted to do a camel, I'd do the same eye like that. That's a camel eye. I'm gonna make it nice and large like this. And then I'm gonna put that long schnoz and this, and then I'm gonna go like this. What do you think? Is that a camel or what?
Well, let's get back to the moose, Joe.
Let's do this. Did we nail that? Did I just nail that? Maybe giraffe, a little bit giraffe.
Gonna pay a camel.
Yeah.
Or a giraffe. No, Leanne said giraffe-like. That's true.
Yeah.
Points out they're cousins, perhaps.
Yeah. Which means that their parents are siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what that means. Okay, we're going to put some shadows, and I've got my pre-mixed shadow color. We're going to get that muscle in the neck right here. We got a big muscle that goes up behind the ear, kind of this way.
Yeah, llama
we got a mane
camel, moose.
That comes
they
down.
All got a similar kind of vibe going.
I liked that long beard that one had. That was cool. I'm going to borrow that idea. They don't. So I'm seeing they don't all have that. This one doesn't have that. It doesn't have the long beard. So they do have their individuality.
Yeah, well, he's a biker. The other one's a biker, so he grows it up, braids it, mobs around Alaska.
Totally. But who
braided beard stuff?
Yeah. How does a moose braid its beard? We got to imagine where they go. They need to go to a professional.
The squirrel goes in there and braids it for them.
That's what I was gonna say. They need someone to do that.
Don't we all?
Yeah, you got to go to the professional, get it done right. Okay.
That's right.
I'm going to have to blow out the perspective on this, like make the back really small compared to the front because we just don't have room on this. to do otherwise. Okay, that's my mid-tone. This is my shadow color. Right here, that's a muscle in the neck. This is the mane coming down. Let's put a little bit of light on that mane. I just put these on real quick at the start. I've got them pre-mixed so that I don't have to mess with getting the right color, and I can just get shape. And then once I start seeing the three-dimensional form, then it's time to come in later. After I get that, I come in and start working on the specific, the details is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's get a good antler. Let's say the antlers are going to go up like this. They come off that top of the skull. I am looking at this picture for reference, keep me on the right track. We're going to do the antlers though. I want the antlers to be unique. They're going to be my own design of antlers. I'm going to do the front section like this. I'm not looking at the picture. We're going to go like this. Oh, let me make sure we're on the frame here.
Yeah, you're a little cropped there.
Yeah. Dude, is that antler flipping me off or what? Yes.
So far, I mean, we heard they don't like it in the winter, so
Yeah.
And the side eye, all that side eye. Dude, I was looking at this video. The internet's full of crazy stuff. There's this fun documented moment in human moose history where this guy and his girl are in this big truck, right? They're in a massive truck, gasoline, fuel, and in the Alaskan wilderness. I'm assuming.
All right. All right. Yeah.
There's a massive moose on the street. Massive moose. And this guy rolls up with his big truck. It's maybe like 5 times the size of a moose, and he rolls down his window. And the moose is looking at him with that side eye. Moose is like, hey, bro, it's cold out here. I don't like people. Why are you in here with this truck on my path?
Yeah.
And now you're saying stuff out your window at me.
Yeah.
Moose is totally feeling this. And you guys can look this up. It's on the internet. So this guy's like, hey, Moose, you got a problem? You want to go? You want to go?
Oh, he starts egging it on. Oh.
And the moose picks up on the vibe.
Dude.
So the moose like takes one little step back,
Yeah.
And you're like,
oh, man.
So then the moose, it just lowers its head, drives its antler into the guy's tires.
He's like,
oh, and man. Looks at him like, what now? And the guy's like, oh, man.
Not good. Not good. Yeah, that's a good one. You gonna get out of the car and fix your tire now?
Yeah, exactly. Trained car of an animal that's like, yeah, what now?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Very satisfying. There was a point in the moose camp.
Yeah. What is that? There's this dark side to I'm going to say our nature as people, but forgive me if I'm inappropriately speaking for you. I feel like it's in me that when I see a beautiful creature that means no trouble, there is a side of me that's like, what if I taunted it? What is that? Why does that? Why is poking the bear a thing? And especially when it's a peaceful bear that's not looking for trouble. Why?
I mean, it comes from a lot. I would suppose that it comes from a lot of different places for a lot of individuals. Some it might be curiosity, smack the top of the water and see what the ripples do, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But then you mix in weird people stuff and ego things, and maybe you want to challenge things and see what you can, like a 2-year-old challenges their
friends, right. Ego. It's
Leanne suggests maybe we just want to make a connection. We want to thing to respond to, notice that we are here.
I like that. I like where you're going with that, because we do want to exist. Like everyone can relate to wanting to exist.
Like
Right.
if you
I'm
take
gonna
a
go.
big rock and you throw it in the water and kaboosh, you know, you
Yeah.
instantly realize that you are a thing, that you're happening. You just
Yeah.
impacted the world, and it feels very exciting and
Yeah.
validating.
Yeah. There is an
Imagine,
excitement to
okay,
it.
so imagine how gut wrenching it would be if you threw a massive boulder off a cliff into a lake, and it
Yeah.
just vanished. The water didn't move. It didn't budge. It just
Yeah. Dude.
vanished. You
Not
would be
satisfying.
so
Not satisfying at
distraught
all.
at your
Yeah.
invisibility in the world.
You would. Yeah. That'd be terrible. All right. My mid-tone is pretty
That's a cool looking
blurry.
moose, bro. That's a cool looking moose. The
Thanks.
colors
Thanks.
are working. The
Yeah.
colors
Is
are
that
working.
you
It's
get so
glowy. It's glowy.
it's glowy. That's the magic of that color pattern. But let's not ignore that it seems a bit overdone on the orange glow. Let's not ignore that. So it's valuable to understand that it's a pattern of the relationship, but it's not a set of right colors. Like these are not the right colors. This is the right kind of relationship to have between my colors that's going to help me. So, we're going to work with it a little bit. We're going to put some black to tone down some of the intensity down here where I got the mane coming. Take some of that. We'll use that to put a little reflection. If you mix a light with a shadow, just when you want to get a more reflective color, when you're doing this kind of a scheme, watch, you just go shadow and light, skip the midtone. So I use this color. This is going to be a better color for getting like the side light in this color scheme, because look how colorless it is in comparison. So if I take that and I go down the side, this side will look a lot more 3D. If I do that, mix it with shadow, and then I have to appropriately lighten it. Okay, so this colorlessness, it does a good job of being associated with side reflection. Kind of makes that side go back where the bold colors feel like the face. I learned that from painting water. Learned everything from painting water.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jules comments that the foreshortening moose body looks so good. Let's
Thanks.
examine that word. What is that
Hey,
fancy?
No, we're talking about
that
that.
just pulled out foreshortening.
Right. We're coming forward and backward in the picture, changing the size, adjusting the perspective to look like that three-dimensional coming toward you. And this color helps to tell the same story. You get that grayer color wherever the edges go back. On the edge of the nose is a good place to put it because I want that to wrap around the opposite side. So I go down here, and it very quickly causes an edge that goes around, as opposed to a bold saturated color like these doesn't tend to have that feel. So it's a real quick way without details and blending and texture and all that. So here's a shadow that's facing more toward me, the underside of this muscle. I'll keep that one more saturated like this. And then I'll keep my saturated tone here coming over the neck until it starts, wrapping around the side there where we got a little light. So that gradient will kind of bring the underside of the neck toward me. So I'm just using those colors to accomplish that right there, to get that.
Tom suggests this interesting dynamic, perhaps.
Let's hear it.
Addressing the psychology of why do we mess with stuff?
Why do we mess with stuff?
And he says, like a little kid wanting attention. If he doesn't get good attention, he'll settle for negative attention. Bear doesn't pay attention, so you want to poke it. Better to be eaten than ignored.
Yeah. Boy, that's good. It is better to be eaten than ignored. It's like you can be ignored for so long, but it is torturous when you're when you just can't exist.
That's
it's
what
like
I'm saying, man. If you throw that boulder and the water doesn't move, it's just like anger, right? Rage that's not responding.
All right, let's make a shoulder muscle.
What a curious behavior we have, you guys, as human beings.
Yeah, it really is.
And
Very curious thing.
La Donnadissima from Ireland, Dublin, enters the building. What's up?
Nice. Good to
Laddie.
see you. Good to see
Laddie.
you here.
Oh, that's Scottish.
Okay.
Sorry. Laddie.
We're going to put a shoulder muscle coming across here.
we're
I like
painting
these
moose.
muscles. Yeah, we're painting a moose. We're going to make it ripped. It's going to be so jacked. We're going to put muscles on this moose. You know, the muscle anatomy is a
This
fun
moose
thing.
works out.
Yeah, it works out, man. We're gonna tense this shoulder. That's the middle piece. Here's the front piece. Here's the rear piece going up to the shoulder blade, right there. And this is the elbow. They barely have a bicep. It's just like a little right there, just like a horse.
Yeah.
And then
just Roundrush says we still need a donation page, Joe. What do you think about that?
Nice, man. Thanks for saying that. I agree. Yeah. Donation page. I really dropped the ball on getting that going. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate the compliment though. I'm gonna see if I can set that up. There we go. See, coming forward. I just used the lighting. Just use the lighting to get that to turn upward using my highlight color. And then
Leanne says, I'm going to remember that saying, better to be eaten than ignored next time my granddaughter acts out.
Yeah. That's it.
Just look her right in the eye.
Yeah. I know what you're thinking. Okay, foreshortening. This is going to be the rump back here. We're going to put this, and it's going to be up higher, and it's going to be down lower. So I'm imagining like some kind of a blocky shape right back here. That's the rear of the moose. But we got everything foreshortened. So maybe the rear leg is like maybe here, maybe there, then maybe the bottom of it goes like about right there, you know? There's our basic setup for the rear of the moose. But we're going to put tall grass in here, so we're not worried about that. I just want to know where it is for the sake of my picture. We need to put shadow under it. It's going to look funny until I get these elements in place. There we go. Foreshortening. Well, I'm telling you,
4 and 7 shortenings ago.
I think foreshortening is a confusing. There you go. It's a very confusing topic, foreshortening, because you're like, why do we say perspective when we're dealing with landscapes, but foreshortening when we're dealing with an object, especially a living, like a creature, some kind of a character? You know, it's a very confusing thing. All right, we're gonna make this eye look a little better too. Let's do the little eyelid under, do the little shadow over the brow. There's these very common.
I think those lashes are like a big part of the moose vibe too, you know?
Yeah, totally. Let's
like the droopy nose. Is there an amount of lash that is too much lash for this moose? I think not. Like, I think this thing could have clip-ons and you would still say, look at this awesome natural looking moose.
Okay. Since you said that, we're going to go ahead and test that.
It just gets more and more beautiful as the lashes get.
It just gets more beautiful.
Long lashes are beautiful. That's weird. Why
I don't know, but they are. I don't disagree. I mean,
it's just instinctively you're like, huh.
Yeah. Eyes with long, smooth lashes.
But I gotta admit,
it's magical.
Ladies with the clip-ons, come on, not necessary.
It's a bit extreme. Yeah. So I say it can be taken too far, but I don't know. There's a part of me too that's like, we're back to existing and being noticed. It's like, all right, we're having fun. We're dressing nice. You know, it's fun.
So Jules points out Egyptian artists didn't bother with foreshortening. They just painted everything flat from the front or side. That's very true.
I have to challenge that because, you know, what have you got, like five hieroglyphics to summarize the art of Egyptians?
That's true. We talk about all Egyptians. Egyptians.
Obviously, there was an existing tradition.
It was a
pattern.
theme. It was a style.
There was a theme that we can see, but like I think it seems like it's normal for people to think they know the past because they found a little piece of it. You know, like we have this narrative like, oh yeah, we know where we came from, we know what's out there. And I'm the skeptic saying, do we? I don't buy it. I see the claim. I don't think you got all the pieces in place.
Well, we've learned that Mural Joe is disagreeable this morning, you guys. He wants the challenge.
I know. I just didn't want to summarize Egyptian art.
That's true. Let's leave. Well, hey,
okay.
We'll leave a foot in the door for the Egyptian artists that were into foreshortening. We'll do that.
It wasn't on the cave walls. It wasn't on the cave walls. I totally know what you're saying. I kind of went to argumentative when it wasn't really that kind of a comment. So
okay, well, I don't.
The comment police are here.
I haven't seen any Egyptian niece that look like Mr. Foreshortened here.
No, they don't. That is the truth. And, you know, did they have lashes like this? I mean,
yeah,
come on.
And then Jules points out, you know, she's holding my hand through this what is foreshortening stuff, not necessarily meant to pigeonhole the Egyptians. So.
No, of course. I know. I went too far.
Hey, those are some pretty eyes. Those are some pretty eyes. Is it true that no amount of lash is too much lash?
I'm testing it to see if your claim holds up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're smashing that heart button and smiley button and 100 button and party button. What else are we smashing?
I think it'd be nice to see the whites of the eyes a little bit. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's put a little bit of color. Here's how you do the whites of the eyes. You don't want it to be white. You got to brown it a little bit, just a little. Put some black in it, make it a shade of gray. This is how you do the whites of the eyes. It's a brownish light gray, especially in a brown painting. Okay, and then we're going to go like this. We're going to put a little dab on the front corner, a little dab on the rear corner. Boom, whites of the eyes. That's all you need. Just do that little thing. And then we're going to put a twinkle. Put a little twinkle in there. Let's see. Where are we going to put the light anyway? Is the light coming this? It looks like it's kind of hitting the nose. So let's run with that. Let's go. Dunk. There we go. Now we got the twinkle.
You know what's funny about that little twinkle is you know, cinematographers will go to great lengths to ensure that is in there in an image of any human. If you look at any movie, any television show, and you look at the faces of everyone, they always
have the twinkle.
Unless the shot is designed to make them look inhuman and horrifying, they always have that little white dot in their eye.
When
we see the white dot, we think alive. When we don't see the white dot, we think dead, scary.
What happened? Yeah. Because there are a lot of moments in natural environments when you're not at the right angle to see that twinkle.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to happen, right? You know, world, but
like if this light were coming. Yeah. If there was not a light, let's say that this was a cloudy day, then we would just see like a gradient. We'd see a mirror reflection of the horizon in the sky. Actually, you would, if we really zoom in on it, this is a fun eye study. All it is a reflection of the environment. So in a sphere. So if you really wanted to detail that eyeball, watch. Let's go in there. Let's get in that eyeball. And we paint the horizon. This is kind of a fun way to think of the reflection in eyeball. So the twinkle is the light source. That's all it is. It's a mirror reflection of the light source. And so when it's a sunny day and you're at the right angle, you're bound to see that twinkle. So we're going to put the horizon, and there we're going to put enough black that it is, I put a gradient. I don't want just a solid color in there. And I want it to be darker than the light source. There we go. See how I put the horizon? And then I'm going to put reflection of the sky is this gray right there, brighter down low at the horizon where I started. So then,
oh yeah, now it's like the world is reflecting in
yeah, that's how you do it. That's what that is. So now if the sun's
hey, if there's
coming
one
this
thing Mural
way,
Joe can do, it is reflect a sphere.
totally. Yeah, let's exaggerate that a little bit more. Let's have some fun. Let's make it a daytime scene. We'll put the sun a little bit higher in the sky, or maybe it's the moon. I'm gonna get my sky color and dab out the bottom one. There we go. There. Now we got lots, but you know, I'm making the brightness a little too great on that. Let's darken that. Little touches with that corner of the brush. There we go. Just darkening it a little. There we go. Now we got a good reflection.
It's a cloudy.
Yeah, and you can even put, you know, let's say that this moose is looking at some green trees or some cabbage weed. Here, let's do this.
Oh, you know it is.
Yeah, so let's go like this. Let's put a little bit of green down on the ground. I mean, we're just painting we're painting a scene is what we're doing. You know, we're when we paint a reflection in an eye, we're just painting a reflection of a natural environment. Let's put some shadows in there. It can be anything. So there's this, you know, when I was first learning how to do this effect of reflection in an eye, I'm thinking, what's the right shape? What is the shape of the reflection in an eye, and what makes it change? Well, it's an endless list of shapes that it can be. It's a very dark image. I know that I have the exposure kind of down to see that, but you can get the idea. So the possibilities never end when you're doing the reflection in an eye, because it's just the environment. That's what it is.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jules, to that point, brings up, but doesn't the light and shadows on the antlers look like the sun is behind him?
It kind of does. Kind of does. So, you know, you busted me on that one. Let's talk about something else.
How about Egyptian history?
Yeah, that's true.
Other things we know lots about.
Yeah. All right, there we go. We detailed the eye a little bit.
Planet, Joe. That's it. Jules says it's a 2-sun planet.
Thank you. Thank you for justifying. Yeah. Well, you know, nothing is beyond being adjusted. These are facing down, so if the sun is coming, it's barely going to nick the tips of these. So I really could like take my highlight color and just, you know, hit the ends of them like this.
Dude, it might be time to put that moose in a world, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's
or
time
not,
for that.
You know.
No, I think we should. I think we should build the environment. So here's a practical tip when you're putting together a scene, whether it's painting a mural, painting a canvas, whatever you're doing. Something I found real helpful is paying attention to the edges last. So here I'm going to get the idea of the color fill that I'm going to use. And when I'm confident about that, yeah, that's going to be a good color fill. I'm feeling good about it. I've put enough on to get a good read on the situation here. I want a little bit of a shadow. Here, let's even cast a shadow of the front of the antler. Even though this might not really happen, I think it'll be fun. The kind of color.
This is your world, Joe. This is your world.
Thank you. Bob Ross would have said that too. Okay. We're going to mix shadow and highlight to get a pale grayish color. Then we're going to lighten it with white to represent some blue skylight coming down. Put a bit of a gradient so that the more upward facing is lighter. See, and then we have a cast shadow coming across the base there.
Dude, Bob Ross. My goodness. I love that dude.
Yeah, pretty
I'm just
great.
sitting here recalling the sound of his voice, and it instantly makes me a child. Just soothed, happy,
Yeah.
imaginative.
Yeah, totally.
Dude was doing it right, man.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I mean,
you realize he was a war veteran. He hated it, he was messed up.
yeah,
All the
yeah,
things that happened, and so that's why he leaned so heavy into the happy little
yeah.
this, and
Such
it's just like
opposite environments. Yeah, it's not beautiful. The war environment. I can't imagine feeling like you're producing beauty.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool that
I
he.
love that we have that. I love that we have that.
Yeah, nice. I like that too. All right. Yeah, let's do an environment. I got distracted with this set of antlers. We got different light sources. The sky is a light source. So I always try to work dark enough that there's room to lighten the tops of everything according to the sky being overhead, and still have room to do direct sunlight later. So none of this is close to like my brightest gold highlight. I can get real bright in this. So this I want the biggest contrast. So for example, I don't think fur would really be that bright, but I'll be able to take this color, add some yellow to it. Here's my highlight color. Here's my yellow. I'll put some white on. We better go to a different spot because that's mixing wet paint. So here's a real bright highlight color. And if the sun is directly hitting reflective areas in the fur, we might have like a bright spot on the forehead. We might have a little bit of where there's a calic on the nose. I don't know where it'd be, but we have room to do my brightest highlights in here like this. Let's put a little dot right there. If I really want to enhance the light source.
The belowy.
Yeah, if I really want to enhance that, there's room. What I'm saying is I'm leaving room with the colors. Okay, and then I'm leaving room with the shapes to overlap and come back. So I was talking about that a minute ago and changed the subject. I'm going to leave room. I'm not going to complete the edges. These edges are going to stay messy because I'll bring the background up too. Let's make a fun background. Let's do
nice.
It's always fun to do mountains, right? Alaskan mountains. Come on. You know what? Why am I doing such a
to me about mountains, Joe? I'll go first, then you.
Yeah.
No, you go first. You go first, Joe.
Well, I realized I went to black to do like a dark mountain, but I'm realizing I want to do mostly snow on these mountains. I want to do black. I want to do light mountains. Yeah. Yeah.
What's interesting about mountains is, if you just like look at the earth, like just look at it, like from where you stand, look down at the ground, or if you're in the woods and you kind of look around, it's something, right? It's cool, but for some reason, that earth is like now at an angle and you're looking like straight at it, like as a mountain would allow you to, because it up at night. For some reason, all of a sudden, it's beautiful.
Okay,
What is it about looking perpendicular to the earth that makes it so much more attractive than
beautiful,
or seeing it maybe in vastness as opposed to seeing it just in your smaller perspective? I'm always curious about when I'm like looking at the Grand Canyon or looking at a mountain or looking out
like why does this feel
from an airplane window? What is it just about the surface of the planet that we find so beautiful?
So great,
Just because, like, there's no different feature. Like, say you got a grassy field, right? That's just a grassy field.
Yeah.
So now if you take the center of that grassy field and pull it up like it was a blanket, now you got like a little mountain of grass. Instantly, it's so cool looking.
Yeah. You're right. You're right about that. And I don't know why. I've also wondered about the mystery of why do I love lines of perspective so much? For me, it goes all the way down to like my personal love of swooping lines and how perspective itself actually creates those. perspective, the way it scrunches and shrinks, like it takes an
Yeah.
ordinary wave and makes it feel like it's got movement. It makes really cool lines. Perspective makes really great lines. And I don't know. I don't have the answer to that one.
Yeah, it's
That's a
fun,
great question.
It's just like a gravitation. Well, it's home. But it's just weird
I
that
don't want that.
when we see a little bit of it, we're like, oh, there's dirt and rocks and a plant.
Yeah, not exciting. Yeah, I
But if
gotcha.
you're looking at it in mass, you're like, what a beautiful planet.
Yeah,
It's just more of the same stuff at an
yeah,
angle now, at a perpendicular. Yeah, whatever. Maybe the light gets more dynamic when it crosses.
yeah. Okay, well, what about this? To explore the thought a little bit more, what about macro footage, same perspective, but zoomed in on the dirt and the rock? How about that? You think that
Say
has
again?
the same? Does it have the same beautiful vibe when you zoom way in on a small picture? You have the same perspective, but it's a tiny picture. The
I mean,
the
not for
macro
me,
footage.
right? Do you feel your blood pressure drop when you like peer at a tiny little rock? Not so much.
But what if it's
You're
like
getting,
real great perspective? What if the perspective set up real nice, so it's like flower in a garden or a rock on the beach, and then you see,
that's
but
true.
it's zoomed way in, zoomed
That's true.
way in. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah.
I think of the vast beauty where maybe it's because a lot of beauty is what it does for your imagination. Maybe there's a lot,
Yeah.
maybe there's a lot of that. It's fun when you see a world that feels like you could go explore it. That's a good feeling. But I'm not
Yeah.
saying that's the answer, because I think it's more mysterious than that.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Jules is having a creative odd here. Sometimes they sit in traffic and try to remember every single person has an entire life beyond being in my way. Beyond being in my way. An entire life. Yeah, it's great. I'll sit.
Good perspective. I like that.
I'm in this Los Angeles spaghetti plate, Jules, and I'll sit sometimes like on an overpass, look at 12 lanes of traffic, and it's just a river of humans constantly all day, every day, that never stops. And I'm like, I'm one life, but they're just flying by, and each of them its own sentient being that's centered in their own universe and
Right.
also looking around themselves, right? It's just so wild, the complexity of it all. Now you're getting me going on it, but I get it.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's a pretty picture you're painting, Joe. I like how the blue sky, the purple mountains majesty are contrasting against your warm moose tones.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. Let's do
I like that. Was that intentional? Did you say to yourself, I'm going to make this orange moose pop by putting it against this blue background?
No, I didn't say that. I said if I had I said in my head, if I had a blue sky shining on snow, it'd be kind of purple. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I just borrowed it from nature. Nature made the beauty decisions. I just borrowed it. I was like, hey, all right. Okay. Then we're going to put a little bit of sunlit color in that snow. Oh, watch out for the green, man. You can't, you
oh, geez.
Can't take your eye off of that. It's always trying to come up, It's like a
snuck in. Hey, did you want a little muddiness in that image, or should
you got to make sure, the green, it's kind of like who is the Incredible Hulk? Bruce something, he's always trying to make sure the Hulk doesn't come out. You got to monitor it closely. Don't let that painting get angry and the green comes out. So the green comes when you don't want it and ruins what would be a natural light gradient. So I always have to make sure that I counteract it with something more red when it starts to happen. I noticed this pattern when I was looking at mountains in Alaska. Yeah, I actually was looking at mountains in Alaska, believe it or not. Not trying to sound too, not trying to brag is what I'm saying. But a friend took me on this trip to Alaska, and I remember looking at the mountains thinking, man, that's not like the mountains we have in Arizona. And so I noticed that they have a lot of little, they're more snow than rock. You know, that was one important distinction. I want to make some dark color to do rocks. And then what I'm going to do is just like trail those down from the points down into the valley. So we're going to just put a bunch of dark. I'm going to get my smaller brush for this. If it was Bob Ross, it'd be done by now with the palette knife, but I'm not that guy.
You know, Amanda, our Alaskan consulate, suggests a little snow on that moose, maybe, you know?
Really? Is that a thing? Boy, can you just, does the moose?
Like, they're mammals, right? Does the snow gather on the
yeah,
moose?
I guess you're right. It's not like they're just going to brush the snow off every single time it falls on them.
And like, you know, if their coats are insulating, that would suggest that the outside of the moose is cold enough to allow for some snow.
Okay. All right.
That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Yeah, Amanda, you could totes have moose snow.
Let's do it. Let's put moose snow. I'm putting some dark rocks that trail down into the valleys because I noticed this pattern. It was just kind of fun. So wherever I've got what looks like it could be a peak, I'm just putting some dark. You know, it's a different way than I typically approach a mountain. But they have all of these little sharp points on those Alaskan Rocky Mountains that seem to follow this pattern where the rocks kind of go down into the valley because they're like those crests of the ridges are protruding up out of the snow. That's
you know,
my best
fun,
take
Joe,
on it.
is not everybody showed up to this little sesh here when you started it an hour and a half ago. So the ones that just showed up recently, they're walking into a painting here where you got a beautiful mountain, a gorgeous moose, and a weird little thing next to the moose.
What was that?
And they're sitting there thinking,
how'd that make the cut? How'd that thing make the cut? Yeah.
Who's
that's
the 4-year-old walked in here and said,
totally. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. All right. You know, instead of slave over trying to match that sky, why don't we just turn this into a cloud? You know, because I'm lazy. I'm feeling lazy. I'm just gonna take this right here, turn it into a big sunlit cloud, except that's gonna be the shadow side of it. I gotta put a little bit of my purples in there. We'll kill that purple a bit with my orange highlight color of the moose. Here we go. Dude, cloud shadow
pretty,
color.
Man. Joe, this is getting very pretty. I'm gonna volunteer
Thanks.
That comment. I'm gonna put that in the chat. Pretty.
Thanks.
Ben in Long Beach says pretty.
Thanks. No, I appreciate that. It's kind of luck of the draw a lot of the time.
Says, coming up next week, we got live painting. How to paint invisible imaginary friends.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a little moose friend there.
Yeah,
the moose imaginary friend.
Well, we were trying to put Rocky in the picture, and it didn't work out. That's what was. That's the story we can tell. Yeah. The whole attempt at Rocky and Bullwinkle didn't quite work out.
Little Ray, I would love to hear your question. Go ahead and type it up, and we'll address it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And then also, Tyler says, past January, we had a few deer in our backyard that had snow covered on them. It was interesting to see. They would shake it off, and it looked like a puffy cloud of powder.
Oh, nice. That sounds cool. That sounds really neat. Okay, I'm going to make this color again.
Amanda, the mayor of Alaska, says looks super Alaskan, Joe. So
nice. All right. I appreciate that. There's a funny video Ben edited years ago. We were young bucks, doing a project together in Flagstaff. And the order from the customer was a Tuscan scene. So you can just look up Mural Joe Tuscan scene. I don't remember the official title of the video. It was like Tuscan Mural Joe. If you look that up, you'll see me trying to capture a Tuscan thing. And they're like, that looks more like, I got real far on these pine trees. They're like, yeah, it looks kind of Alaskan, like looks rugged, rough, dramatic. They were looking for the soft rolling hills of Tuscany. And I had these I got inspired and I was doing these dramatic mountains and everything. So it brings back a funny memory. All right, we're going to make this moose with like this mountain valley behind it. But I don't want to make it twin peaks. So we'll have to make one a little bit higher than the other. So we're not accidentally creating a distracting symmetry. There's my second peak right there. Here's how you do snow. If you want to put snow on something, you just mix the shadow color on there like that. The texture helps me. Shadow color, that's the snow under the established color of snow under the skylight. Then pure white is going to be where the sun's starting to hit it. And then we just blend it. And we can just blend those right into
the moose colors are talking the environment colors. Love it.
There we go.
We're putting the moose in the world.
What if we
all over the moose?
Man, that's true. That's what it does, doesn't it? It's like when you take the environment and put it on the object, it like sucks them together. They become one picture.
That's it. The moose is leaving footprints everywhere it goes, smashing tires, and
that's it.
The world's cool.
We're gonna put some snow
all over the moose, covering it.
Let's put some snow in the antler.
They say, Joe, you swim in a mud puddle, you get dirty. That's what they say.
Yeah. I think it's true.
Whatever world you're in is going to rub off on you, and you're going to rub off on it. That's kind of the way this whole ecosystem is vibing.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, we got bright sunlight again hitting this. Snow in the antler. Right there. Let's put some snow.
Hey, Jonathan Scott pulling one out from the archives says the Tuscan video. I'm not sure why did you bring this up, Jonathan, but it's true where Joe translates customer speak from, quote, how are you going to make that more Tuscany?
Yeah.
To, quote, I don't get it. I remember that. That was one of the first things I have filmed for Joe too. Gosh, that was like 15 years ago. Wow.
Wait, I don't get it. Translate. Tell me what happened.
Remember when you were in that room? You were in that room and you were trying to do a Tuscan landscape.
Yeah, and it wasn't. And then I realized, it's off.
But you did like Alps, right? You did like jagged,
dramatic, yeah.
And she walked in very, very casually and said, "So how are you going to make it look Tuscan?"
Yes, I remember.
It really stressed you out.
Yeah, it was that moment where I realized that I went down the wrong path for too long, and what am I going to do? Oh man, that's a good one. Good memory. Yeah, that's a good one. That was a powerful lesson for me. This whole so when I talk about on the small scale of not completing the edges of the antlers, those big lessons have influenced me in that. Really caused me to strategically develop my picture to where I'm confident about it before I start laying it on real thick, the drama, investing all my energy. I don't know what kind of
Little Ray has a question, but they feel that it's too long to post. I'm gonna call you out, Little Ray. We're running out of time, but you better start typing and put what you got.
Yeah,
Talk about it,
you
open
gotta
it
put
up.
it in.
It doesn't matter if it's off topic. As you may have noticed, Joe and I have a little bit of a hard time staying on topic sometimes as well.
Yeah,
You're in
yeah,
good
that's
company.
it. Yep,
Go ahead
random
and
is
post
good.
it up. We'll talk about it. Little Ray, I'm talking to you. Get off of that wallflower. Let's go. Also, Round Brush says, you should finish this piece, Joe, in your own time. I think they're digging on this moose.
Oh, you're saying complete. When you said that, what I first heard was, can we please do something else right now? That's the way that's the way that came across.
I mean,
you should really just finish this later.
Okay, let me
You
try it
would
again.
say something like that.
No, I can't even do English. You should finish this piece. No, that's Australian piece.
It's a good try. Yeah, that was a good try.
Yeah, I'm not even. It's not gonna work. Sorry, man. I'm gonna butcher it.
Yeah. It is a thing that
get out my blade and whack.
So yeah, we're getting it. I think a moose needs some kind of water. That'd be nice to see some kind of water in here, right? It feels.
You don't have any idea how unlike me you sound, Ben. You don't know. That was my Londoner.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Hey, you did better than I could do. I can't do that
here too.
Okay, nice.
We got Laddie from Ireland. They should chime in.
So
Northern Ireland, man, what an accent that is, huh?
I wonder if it always sounds dumb when someone does a bad job of your accent. I don't think it sounds necessarily dumb when someone does
insulting, I would imagine.
Maybe, yeah,
well,
but
think about it, right? So if you've ever heard anybody try and do the American accent,
Yeah. I don't think it always sounds dumb.
They reach for John Wayne, like they reach for John Wayne, That's kind of hey, that's a good looking moose you got there, Joe.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not like insulting, It's just like, oh, how cute that their tongue doesn't work.
Yeah. So I wonder if it translates as, just like for us, the British accent translates as intelligent somehow. I don't know how. Might just be my personal paradigm. But I wonder if it's opposite.
Children of their authority. That's why they sound
like. So then, the other way around. Does the U.S. accent sound like silly and
dumb.
Sloppy?
Yeah,
silly and sloppy.
Yeah. It makes people sound dumb. like that. Dude, in France, they're shooting water cannons at rows of Americans saying, get out. You guys
get out. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, squirt bottles. So maybe if you just kept your mouth full of some big league chew, and you could get you can get a little bit more respect. Chew on some gum.
Yeah.
While you're talking.
Big league chew.
Yeah, Hubba Bubba.
Hey, Shane Dalton Art says, I came for the moose, but I'm getting water too.
Yeah, all right, man. Yeah, we're going to do water. We better get on it. We're kind of out of time here, aren't we?
We got cloud water, snow water,
Totally. Yeah.
We're getting the water lesson. Always.
Water lesson. The in-person workshop is just about full. We got people coming to Flagstaff in September to learn clouds and water. That's something I should be announcing. If you want to jump in on that, there's like one or two seats left. I got to stop it at a max capacity. We can't make good progress if we get too many people in, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Got plans to go look at water, study it, come back to the studio, do clouds, different bodies of water, learn like the very most basic level, do exercises with big brush, with the small brush, really dial it in. Okay, there's my quick pass at some wild grass. I think we need a stream in there. Let's throw in a stream. Okay. Instant water. It's not.
Art called it. Shane called it.
He said there's going to be a stream in there.
I'm getting some water.
Totally. Okay. Look, water anywhere you want. Horizontal strokes. Whatever your underwater color is, we're just going to make it dark grayish color. And then I'm going to put more of the sky color with my horizontal strokes, which in this case, it's just like adding white to that. Don't even worry about the reflection.
Hold up, Joe. There's a moose outside my door. Hang on, I'm gonna go this up. I'll be right back.
Okay. So we're gonna make a gradient. I'm gonna add purple so it's not too green, because that's gonna look like light reflecting. So anytime I see green, I just gotta throw that purple in there because that'll kill the green. Okay, we're just gonna get lighter as we go. And we can take this stream anywhere. Horizontal strokes. The consistency of the stroke direction is real important. That's if I swerve it too much, then I lose my. We want, it's the absence of angles like that, absence of strokes that look like that, that will make this immediately look like a surface, a horizontal surface. And of course, there's room for all kinds of little ripples and things in there, but it'll real quick deliver good results to us. Maybe we do swoop it a little bit for the look of some moving water. We'll swoop it more down in the foreground. Here we can swoop it more because we're looking more downward at it, right? Let's do this. Starting to look like a moose in Florida. We gotta adjust the scenery a little bit. Put some black. We're going to put some purple. That purple is real important because I got some wet green on the canvas that I really don't want to get into my reflection color. Let's just chop off the leg. We can repair it later. It's easier to keep my strokes consistent. This is why I didn't take time finishing the edges of those things, because I save time by not painting the background where I don't need it. And then I save time again by not painting the foreground all the way. And then I just bring the edges together.
Walking right through that water. It don't care. It don't care.
Yeah.
It's gonna walk right through those long legs. That's a high clearance animal right there.
Exactly. That was my thoughts exactly. Like, this moose is not trying to stay out of the water. That's not what they do. They don't try to stay out of the water.
It tells a little story. I love the complexity, how this story just got so much more complex, just because this moose is now deciding to walk right through this water.
That's it.
Like it tells you.
Good job. That's cool.
Now. It tells you the character of the moose, the behavior of the moose. What is the moose like? What is it not like? I'll tell you what it doesn't mind, walking right through some rivers.
Yeah, it doesn't care. It doesn't care about that.
Probably a huge moose, right? It implies so much just to have the animal interact with the environment.
Totally. We need some ripples in here. All right, we're gonna put all kinds of little reflections on here in the shapes of circular ripples, just to get that story, that sense of story that you're talking about. We're going to make sure that we run with that. Let's capture it. Let's get some ripples in this thing. Let's make this water.
Tyler says they had a baby deer running around outside just a few minutes ago.
No! What does it mean? Whoa, that's amazing. Okay, let's do some grass reflection in here.
Baby deer. Is there anything more adorable than a baby deer?
Dude, I'm telling you, that's the truth. That's truth. It feels so wrong to kill a deer knowing that there's babies like that running around the forest. I have the hardest time.
It's just all the things, all the cute things.
I should say kill a deer as in hunting's, I don't know if I have the grit for it.
Yeah. Let's just paint them instead. Hey,
yeah.
Tyler's got a deer outside their window. Jules as 2 dogs in the waiting room to get their car fixed. So animals everywhere in the world, you know.
Dude,
What other animals are in
cool.
your guys' lives? We'd love to know.
Nice.
Is a cat in your lap right now, someone? Is a crow barking at you from outside in a tree? I don't
Yeah.
know. Is a spider crawling up your wall and thinking to itself, nice home, dude. Can I crash here? Let us know.
Totally. All right, we're putting some reflection on the edge. We're going to do some shadows in this grass. Let's get some dark shadows. Now that we've got an edge, we need some dark shadows. Don't be afraid of black.
Well, round brush is apparently got in England, mind you. Not England, Britain. I don't know what you call it. UK.
Yeah, Britain's the larger area. You know, Britain covers large. England is one place.
They got 18 frost-covered moose outside their back door right now. Round brush.
No way. He's lying.
18.
He's lying.
Frost-covered.
No.
Britain.
False. I don't believe it. That's not where that happens.
That's an English word. What a crock.
What a crock. Yeah. All right.
Hey,
well,
Dean
appreciate
says, love your videos. Dean N, thank you for saying what's up in the chat. Coming off
Hey,
of the
thanks.
wall. No wallflowers allowed. Actually, wallflowers are allowed. That's fine. But they love your videos. And also, javelinas? Val's got some javelina. It's American horse.
Cool.
He's got a few dogs. Hey, also, somebody wanted to know, when's the next one of these? Joe, when are you doing this again?
Next weekend. We do them on Saturday mornings. On Saturdays, sometimes we have to take a day off. You know, that's an occasional thing, but for the most part, you know, I thought I was painting off camera. This is the edge of the canvas right here. That black just kind of disappeared into the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Amanda signs off. Cool moose. Amanda the Alaskan signs off on your moose.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great moose painting.
You know what this moose needs? Hey, all right. I appreciate that. That's very nice. I'm going to put a little bit of shadow in the nostril. We need.
Same time, Leanne, I imagine. Same time as this one. Joe likes to do 7 a.m. GMT.
Yep. Arizona Mountain Standard Time, not daylight.
Oh, there you go.
Arizona Daylight Time would be no, daylight. The daylight savings is what we don't do. I don't want to confuse. So you look for Arizona Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah, well, I think
very
Leanne's
specific.
in Arizona, so 7 a.m. You got it.
So Leanne is not in Arizona. Okay.
No,
Leanne's but she might be in a similar time zone because she's in the west. I think she's up northwest. I think northwest. I've asked her about 100 times. Hey, where are you calling in from anyway? I ask her that over and over, and it never seems to stick in my memory.
Hey, Jenna. Jenna Hill says, very mooseful, Joe. Very mooseful.
Yeah, thank you. I like that word. It's a great descriptor.
That is a very mooseful moose.
Yeah. Yeah. Blessed are the mooseful. There's an old scripture I like. Blessed are the mooseful. Yeah.
I have that tattooed on my lest I forget, lest I forget.
Yeah.
For they shall inherit the Alaskan wilderness.
They shall indeed. That's a good one.
Important that you put shall. Keyword shall.
Yeah, because King James is the authority. When you
the one and only.
Oh man.
Leanne's in Canada, but Pacific time, which is
okay, west. It's west. Yeah. I was right about the west part. Okay. We're putting shadows on these sides because what's her name called me on where the sunlight was. So we got to pay attention anywhere we've got like a, that edge. We want the shadow. It's really time for me to stop at this point.
It is time for you to stop. And gosh, Round Brush, you're killing me, dude. You're killing me. They live in the center of time, and the GMT time zone runs through my town.
That's
Oh
true.
my goodness.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
The center of time.
Yeah, that's good. I thought we were the center.
You got us on that one.
That's a good one.
That one. Time does start there, doesn't it?
It does, technically speaking. All right. That's pretty cool to be able to say you're at the center.
The planets all agree. I mean, all the planets and universes agree that line through that rock right there, that's the one. That's the
one. Well, you got to agree on something. There's a problem, you know. It's like, hey, you need to agree on something.
That's true. I mean, otherwise it's chaos, right? Everybody's late everywhere. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, Utkarsh. Hey, Utkarsh, where are you from? Cool name. Utkarsh.
Like it.
Loves the blades of grass.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you like that. You know, that's a technique I've been using for a long time to accomplish grass. Just putting the black and yellow on and then streaking it through, putting strokes. It's a wet on wet technique. You know, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
All you need is black, yellow, white. Black, yellow, white. That's all you need. You just get the black or yellow, whichever order you want to put it in. Go up here to the canvas. Let's put some behind this foot. Put it on nice and heavy. Get a bunch of the yellow. Put it above the black like this. And then you just start using a brush that has a good chiseled shape to it, like this one. Sometimes they split and start making multiple strokes, but I think the an important factor here is knowing when to stop, because at a certain point you start losing detail instead of gaining as you do so many strokes. So practice boards are good for that. You know, you keep gaining little blades of grass. They layer real quick because the paint is wet on wet. It just streaks like this. It makes black and yellow make the perfect foliage color for landscapes. It's such an easy go-to color. So you can see me starting to lose detail.
Green.
Yeah, it's a great rule. Great general rule.
Who ever heard that equation? You know, black plus yellow equals green.
Yeah, you learn that blue and yellow makes green, but you know what color combination I use less than any color combination in landscape paintings now? It's blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow.
It's funny because, you know, like this is the main event in painting is blue and yellow make green. You know, that's like, it seems like everything revolves around that understanding. I still use that understanding a lot, but it's just funny how it ended up being the least helpful color in a landscape was blue and yellow.
Yeah. So Shane Dalton Art says, by the way, I've always enjoyed your murals in Tucson.
There's another mural, Joe. You know what that is? Joe Pajak also has a mural, signed Mural Joe. I wasn't the only one that used that name. And he is a very skilled mural painter in Tucson. I believe you're talking about Joe Pajak's work. So, you know, send him a thumbs up. He does great work.
That's a fun little
there's two Mural Joes out there.
So you've not painted a mural in Tucson, Joe?
No, but there are some really nice murals by a Joe and even signed Mural Joe.
Well,
so
that's confusing.
It is. It really is confusing. We should do like
props to Mural Joe in Tucson.
Like we're gonna have a shootout or something someday to see who the real Mural Joe is.
Have a brush out. So Val says, I love Joe's style and expertise. Everything comes together so beautifully. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. I appreciate that nice compliment.
Thank you, Val.
Very nice compliment.
The only reason this is any fun at all is because you guys are here. So thank you.
That's it. Val. That's it. That's the truth. Well said.
And regarding the yellow and black, Ruth Burcham says, "Yep, black and lemon yellow creates the nature green. Nature green color also ochre yellow and black creates the autumn leaves colors."
Okay,
That's
cool.
what they've discovered.
You've got it down to more specifics than I've dug into. I just know that if I see yellow and black, I'm like, I can make green out of that. And then I just adjust as I go, whatever's needed.
Yeah, and Tom says, "Hey, you using any Floetrol or other inhibitors to make your
No.
paint stay wet long enough to blend?"
No, I put it on heavy. There's a thing. It's valuable to understand with paint that once it starts to get sticky, it hyper speeds all of the dry. Any paint that touches it starts drying fast right along with it. It's like the, what do you call it? The catalyst, I suppose, in the recipe.
Yeah.
Does that. But so what you got to do. So I've been working fast on this and with heavy paint, and we just so happen to have humid weather for the first time in a long time here. We got rain last night. So that's helping me. But I work heavy, I work fast, but this will hit a point when everything I put on it starts to dry a lot faster. It will. And then it can be helpful to step away for a few hours or for a day and come back to it. And then your clean brushes will let the paint flow onto the canvas. Something that really stands in the way of progress for me repeatedly, I always have to remind myself, is clean out the brush. The old paint in that brush causes the new paint that you apply not to flow. It really does. You can trust me on that one. So you clean out the brush, use fresh paint, stir your paint. Paint management's a big deal. Like these will start to get a little more tacky on the top. And so stirring them, when that happens, right now they're not bothering, but stirring that so that doesn't happen, cleaning the brush, and then not letting the painting, not trying to apply it when it's in that tacky stage. Those are all things that I have to pay attention to because it is so annoying when I go to do grass and it starts skipping and not leaving those smooth strokes.
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
very
point where it'll
helpful.
do
We're
that.
getting a lot of hearts out of that info. And Amin from Vietnam says, "Joe, you painting from imagination?" Maybe they
Well, how would you answer that?
He was very analytical about understanding the shape of this moose from all angles so that he could put the moose in any old position he felt like. So kind of imagination, but based on some very aggressive
That's it.
research.
Yeah, that's it. That's the right answer. And that's always a tricky one to answer for that reason. So I don't know the category of that method to explain it, but that's exactly right. It's trying to render. Yeah.
Joe, what does a moose have before a meal?
Oh, I don't know. What's it have?
And a moose bouche.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Oh, you guys. Oh my goodness. What we just discovered. Sorry. Joe's he's not really in a moose bouche kind of guy,
What is that? What's in a moose bouche?
Joe's more of a beans and rice and a flour tortilla kind of a guy.
Oh, it's like a food. Oh, it's like appetizer food. Is it finer food? Is that what we're talking about?
It's French.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, a moose. That's true. That is a very subtle joke. That was a very subtle joke coming straight at you from Utkarsh in Ontario, Canada. What does a moose have before a meal? And
I know what it is now. Now right. I know.
Yeah. So for the crowd that's like, what in the world are these morons talking about? A moose bouche. It's like a little bite, just a little flavorful bite before your meal to get your palate going, get you salivating, get you all pumped up. All right. Well, this is gorgeous. Everybody loves it.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching.
Jenny Penny says, they're a full-time artist now, and they got the courage when
Oh,
they started
nice.
watching your videos years ago.
Nice.
So
That's cool. Thank you. This one is
Yeah.
these foxes are from, man, I always love hearing that somebody's been watching for a long time, and having anything to do with somebody's trajectory. The joy of doing art and making some money at it is, man, that really is just the happiest report I could hear. Thank you for sharing. This is Jennifer's red foxes. This was supposed to be a sunrise. Tried to add the morning mist. I think it's fall. All right, yeah. Let's check it out again. Let's look at that. Nice. I like that. Whoa, sorry, a little sensitive on my screen here. Oh, sorry, messing with the size, trying to get it where we can see. Beautiful fur. We were talking about that fur. You nailed it. We were talking about the different kinds of colors. Those foxes got some very illuminated, natural looking fur. And I like that. I like that gradient on the water. You know, you're using the same elements I was using here on, like the gradient on the water with the horizontal strokes to get that reflected look. Nice sun glow. Beautiful sun glow, that gold color in the sky. Man, I like that. Yeah. Now, fall, I don't know. I don't know the season. You know better than me, but it's a real nice feel. Beautiful feel to that. Man.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it feels warm. Feels like it'd be a warm, humid place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hanging with the foxes.
You know, you can enhance your sense of distance, depth by taking these dark shadows to a little more gray. It seems like a tiny change, but it can mean so much in terms of distance. A little bit of gray suggests atmosphere, and atmosphere is real powerful for creating distance. So I'm always real careful in my pictures not to use these dark shadows in the further elements, like my black rocks on the mountain are real light gray. Wherever I put this is a real simple painting, you know, but if I wanted a distant bush, you know, it's just a tip, take it or leave it. But let's put a there's lots of pines in Alaska, right? Let's put a pine tree sticking up out of the grass. We'll do our black and yellow, but I'm going to add some white to make it a gray. Here, let's get the color first. Let's put some more black. There we go. Okay.
Penny says, Jenny Penny, I believe, whose work you just looked at, says it was supposed to say fail, I guess.
Fail. It's a beautiful picture. I don't, you know, nothing in there looks like fail to me. It looks
speaking
really
of Bob, there's a little Bob for you guys.
There you go. An old trick I learned. So I'm being careful not to, you don't want to go real green. On distant greens in a picture are really not that green. So my black and white are my main colors. So if I want these pines to have that real distant feel, I'm making sure that the shadows are not as black, in other words, not as dark as the foreground, because we've got atmosphere affecting that. Here, let's go even lighter for a further layer. Let's put this in here. Let's put some purple to take out some of the green. You wouldn't think purple would be a great color for distant greens, right? Adding that purple will make it not so green. And this is a side note. This doesn't pertain to Jennifer's picture anymore about adding the purple, but I just thought I'd talk about it because we want distance. We want that feel of distance. So adding atmosphere means lightening and then not allowing that green for reasons that
Shane Dalton Art says, hey, a true artist will not stop painting even when they say, all right, I gotta go.
I gotta go, guys. I really gotta go. I cannot paint any longer. Okay.
You called him out, Shane. You nailed it.
That's it. So, you know, placement has a lot to do with distance, but we got two things telling the same story. Perspective tells us it's near the horizon in the distance. Color also tells us that darkness of those shadows. So you could implement that in a picture like this as well, where you have a big difference between how dark the far shadows are versus how dark the foreground shadows. Just something to think about. It's a beautiful picture. Let's check out this one. We got more. We got more stuff in the inbox here. Here's one from. Here's one from Round Brush. Let's see what he's got. He says, traditional painting idea in the works, not done. Traditional piece for a. Wait, hold on. I didn't read that all. It clicked too quick. For a long time. Haven't done a traditional piece for a long time. No, Round Brush is not only has some wit, he's got some talent.
Okay. Shapely.
That's cool. Yeah, and okay, so by traditional, perhaps you're meaning like the technique, the style that's used with the cross etching, cross hatching style of the pen, the lines. Yeah. Perhaps that's it. I'm not too educated about what's traditional, what's not. But the content is very interesting. This looks like a person.
Say, like, what are we even looking at here? It's like a person kind of
floating along on a rock.
Yeah.
That is, or on a rock. Washed up on a rock. Yes. This person's washed up on a rock, and these are waves.
Dude, they're spent.
Yeah. Yeah. The arm is in the water. It's in progress. Pieces in progress. Nice.
What a challenge how to do waves and water shading and highlighting.
Oh yeah, totally.
Pencil work.
Yeah. Hey.
Out of ship battle.
You know what? This is a good time. I want to show you something. Hey, Roundbush, if you'll allow me to humor you with some details. Okay, look. I want to show you something that I find helpful. The shape of the darks. So you're working with the dark. You're not like putting the highlights on the tops of waves. So waves have this anatomy to them, where it's like, okay, we have the face of the wave is kind of an oval shape. Okay, you put a bunch of those together. We get smaller as we go further, smaller, flatter as we go further into the background. Okay, well, what happens if each one of these is has a little more of a peak at the top, which they do. They kind of have a little more of a peak on the top side of the oval. Okay, the resulting shape of the highlight in the negative space. Look what we get. We get a lot of these swooping shapes. So that's why when I use the highlight, I do the smiles. You see that? Because the peaks of the faces create those smiles. But when you're working with dark color, this is really helpful to know, because you can real quick render water if you just render the dark shape of the face darker as you get to the middle. That right there is the face of a wave. It's oval shape with a little bit of a peak and a gradient that gets darker as it comes forward. This might be handy in your piece. So then darker in the middle, lighter as I go out, a peak at the top. I'll do it as best as I can. Let's put an oval, peak at the top, darker in the middle, oval, peak at the top, darker in the middle. I'm going to keep doing this. We're going to do whiteboard, water. Ovals, they're going to start getting flatter as they go back.
It looks like Lego water.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so the gradient darker in the middle is that's the important part. So I make sure that every one of these has that darker middle to get my text. It really is just a pattern. Water is all about capturing the pattern. It's not.
Says waves are like pressing different sized balls into lumps of clay, right?
Oh, nice. I like that. That's a good description.
And then these drawings are to get an idea of what they want to do. So
okay, not criticizing. Definitely not criticizing.
They haven't used actual paint. They haven't used actual paint in a while. That's what they're referring to. It's like,
so I'm not telling you to fix anything or criticize it, but you inspire me to show this that can be helpful to people when they're trying to draw. Drawing water is very different than painting it, because you reverse the part of the water you're focusing on. Painting.
Well, Shane Dalton Art says pixel water is cool. 8-byte H2O or 8-bit H2O, 8-byte, which is kind of what we were talking about
Totally.
earlier with how you
Totally.
can tell that a moose is furry just because of getting the color right.
Yeah.
You can tell it's water just by getting these.
To get the pattern in
values
there.
right. Even
Yeah.
if it was pixelated all the way down to 8 byte, right?
You'd still know it was water if it didn't break the rules. You know?
Yeah.
You'd still
And
know.
Round Brush enjoys criticisms.
Yeah.
They find them far more helpful than praise.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. We got pixel water. We might as well do one of these. My kids might like. You know, do a little square there.
Here comes Mr. Pixel hanging out in Pixel Town Lake, swimming about with Pixel Moose.
There, it's like it's a Minecraft scene, you know. Where got him floating on a log.
Chilling.
Okay.
Chilling.
All right, that's a fun little pattern to remember about water.
Hey, that is cool. Should we sweep that inbox one last time, see if there's anything in there?
Yeah, we got another one in there. We're gonna look at it. I know that there was another. We've got also Rachel sent one in. Okay, nope, no picture attached on this one. Rachel. So we'll see. Well, we saw the animation from JM. We saw that one.
Yeah.
From Jules.
Great.
We saw that. We saw them all.
All right.
They're all there.
We saw them all. We've seen it. We've done it. We painted it.
That's it. Okay, this is where we call it a morning. We went overtime. We went overtime again.
Yeah.
Whoa, way overtime.
Well,
we were supposed to go 1.5 hours. We like almost 2.5.
Oh, geez. Well, you know what they say about time. It originates in Britain and it flies when you're having fun.
That's it. That is what they say.
That's what they say.
Hey, everybody. Thanks a lot for being here. This was a blast. You know, I really appreciate sending in your work, sending in questions, comments, things that are ideas. It's really helpful. As you can see, we really do like to get direction from you for the content of the video. So tune in next Saturday morning. Sorry about that. Ben has been lost.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? All that pixel stuff it just took over me. I'm like, I'm gonna do a pixel thing, man. That sounds awesome. I'm gonna be pixel.
I don't know why that happens. He's gone.
I'm gonna do pixel stuff.
Yeah. You saw my water. You were like, I can do that. Yeah,
man, I got that under control.
Yeah. All right, screen's dark. We're out. We got to get out of here. I'm gonna cut the audio. Then we're killing the stream. Thank you, everybody. It was really good seeing you again. Good having you here.
Good day, everyone. Good day.